You are now tuned in to My Skin is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. From goons to gods, we welcome everyone. We only have one rule, and that's be respectful. You are now tuned in to My Skin is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. Goons to gods, we welcome everyone. We only have one rule, and that's be respectful.
Holla at us next week, man.
No doubt, man, and definitely shout out to the family, liberationmindedmedia.net. That is Black Eye Stand, Do the Knowledge Radio, The Rundown with Renee, and My Skin is My Sin. Oh, and don't forget to share the show, man. If you check it out today, or if you check it out next week, or if you check it out in 1,000 years, and if you are that motherfucker that digs us up in 1,000 years, you are the most phenomenal individual to ever walk the galaxy for digging up this greatness and still share our shit, man. Shout out to you. Don't forget to check out the websites, embroshell.com, designsbymonet.com, and myskinismysin.net.
Shit! A weed! Oh! No cigar? No! Fuck, bitch! Got blunt? Got weed?
Mr.
My motherfucking sister. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mr.
My motherfucking sister. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pop saucy, I'm splashing on him. Eddie B, that's my fucking brother. Fat nigga with a lot of money. You can't touch this MC Hammer. Tools on me like Bob the Builder. Twinkle, little star. Hit the bar with 10K. Ballin' on another level. Goku, Super Saiyan when I come through. Kicking shit like Johnny Cage. Yo bitch ugly, play. My bitch bad like Princess Leia. Name buzzing like a bumblebee. Niggas mad they don't fuck with me. Sweet baby rays on my fucking feet. Jump in the pussy like Blue's Clues. Point them out like who's who. Where in the world is Waldo? Hit your bitch like a domino. Big black like King Kong. Place hole like a ringtone. Use them up on Bible Fall. Kick her out like DW. By the bill like Claire Huxtable. Hit your man like a Royal Rumble. Do you smell what the rock is cooking? It don't matter. You jabroni. Getting money all by my lonely. Niggas mad they don't even know me. Got the sauce. I do what the fuck I want.
Oh, yeah.
Big Pippin, Scotty Pippen, 33 bitches, swag dripping, shoes Italian, shirt Egyptian, I'm money mention, did I mention I'm on a mission, moonwalking in the rain, Michael Bivens, Big Pippin, Scotty Pippen, 33 bitches, swag dripping, shoes Italian, shirt Egyptian, I'm money mention, did I mention I'm on a mission, moonwalking in the rain, Michael Bivens, big sexy, hoes love me, got a big, they wanna rub it. Money long, they wanna fuck me. I'm a pimper, even if she ugly. Diamonds yellow like Bart Simpson. Chain ice, I'm bartending. Real nigga, you pretending. Flossing on them like a fucking dick. Going up like an elevator. She gon' ride it like an escalator. Black activist, sipping activator. Black coupe, name it Dog Vader. White lemonade, shoe, not later. Bustin' up like Axie Slater. Big sauce speaker, sauce knees. Taking bands up my feeling sleeve. Bitch, some sauce preaching to the hoes. Teach the hoes how to make the dough. After that, kick it out the dough. Then sauce always on the road. That's your soul. Drippin', pimpin', all the nigga know. Yes, I'm shining, this a diamond show. Show respect to my diamonds, bro. Oh yeah, big sexy. I don't couple cause these hoes is messing. Pimpin', yeah, my sauce is drippin'. Don't act this shit, mind your fucking business. I'm on a mission, trying to make the chicken. Rippin' biscuit, trying to get the cheddar. Chain ice like a gold medal. Shot a shot, get my fucking bezel. Yeah. Big Pippi, Scotty Pippen, 33 bitches, swag dripping, shoes Italian, shirt Egyptian. I'm money mention, did I mention I'm on a mission? Moonwalking in the rain, Michael Bibbins, splash walking through the mall, split splash on the drip drip. 90s baby, I ain't done yet. Pull off in the foreign, fat nigga watch around me. Bad bitches wanna love me. 100 grand in a duffel, fuck niggas I don't trust them. I'm all about bread, chopper hang on my leg. Let the bang, now he dead. Buzz white arms, butterscotch. Pull off on the skirt. All I wanted was a she. So to do what I please. She all her needs. Yeah. Goddamn.
Astro.
What's good, fam? This is Jobs, and you are tuned into the Water Cooler, live streaming on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitch and Twitter. We typically kind of really be chopping it up on YouTube, though. So if you can, go to the channel, the My Skin Is My Sin channel on YouTube. Shout out to Lotus. Shout out to Doran. Shout out to Carm Dub. And yes, we are definitely going to talk about Gayle and Oprah. And we're not going to do the whole 2 hours today. Oh, that's pretty fucking dope. I got to work in the morning, and I'm not sure even if Rome is going to be able to call up, but I definitely did want to chop it up about that shit, to be quite honest. And of course, I know Carm Dub, you'll let me know if for some reason you can't hear me, but we should be okay. And if I got an echo or something, let me know. But I'm trying to listen now on my phone. And it's just hella low. All right, so I can turn that up a little bit. And if it's a little too loud, just let me know. And typically, if you ever tune into the show, we don't talk about shit for the first 15 minutes or so. Yeah. We had a little volume. We had to add a little volume on that. That's much better. I guess we're not gonna bring up Meg Thee Stallion and the White Boy though, huh? You don't want to talk about that, Carmen? You got nothing to say about that one? I'm just curious. I need to hear your thoughts on that one. Oh, and while I'm messing around, man, I don't even have Skype loaded up. Shit, he could be calling and I wouldn't even know. So my bad, Rome, if you are. And I'll text him in a minute. You know I don't really care. I'm just saying that shit. And actually, yeah, he did just call. Shit, my bad. My bad, Rome. I'll text you right quick. You know, I don't really care. I'm just saying that to really fuck with Carm Dub. You know, ain't shit really changed with me. Like, I'm not one of the, you know, you Satan if you fuck with white people, you know, or that type of shit. I don't really care. And you know what? You could believe that if you want. I think old girl was testing the waters, to be quite honest. I think she was trying to see, you know, and the fact that people felt some type of way, I think she may have gotten a little pushback from some folk. She then went to option B. Damn, bro, what the hell?
Make him do what it do, yeah, man.
All right, that's a bet. And let me see what we looking like here. What's going on with you though, bro? And I told you know I know we only gonna do about an hour today, so that's cool. Cause I gotta be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, come on now, we're not gonna do that. Like that's not fair. Like if she's dating that dude, I don't really care. But like we talking about Meg. Why it's got to be the de facto, well, what black dudes do? No, we're not talking about black men right now. We talking about Meg. And if she dating the white dude, I don't have a problem with it. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that, Carm Dub, and I'm, so it is what it is. I just kind of wanted to know. You all right over there, bro?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I heard that was a video though. I don't know if she's dating that nigga.
Like I was just saying, like I think she is, and people felt some type of way about it, and she kind of backtracked on it a little bit. That's just my 2 cents. Again, like I don't really care either way, but I don't think she was fronting. I think that she thought it was gonna be okay to other folk, and generally it was not received well, and so she backtracked. I mean, because she, okay, for you can't have it both ways though, Carm. You can't put yourself out in the spotlight wearing the tightest shit ever and talking about all type of shit, and then expect people not to be in your business. That comes with the territory. That's part of the job description of being a celebrity, is people being in your shit. Like, there's no secret now. If anything, now it's even more so because of social media. So, to say why do people care so much, that's just being that's not right. That's being disingenuous. Like, you want people to care. People want, like, when you get to a certain level of success, it's because people care. They vested in you. They have an interest in whatever it is that you bring to the table, and then some. You don't mind when people want autographs. It's like, you can't have it both ways. You can't have a little bit of celebrity and then not want to be bothered. She didn't just take a pic with this dude, though. They was like in the bed. Like, that's totally different than taking a random ass picture with somebody. Again, I'm not saying that I'm not judging her in any way, shape, fashion, or form. I only brought it up because of you. That is it. Oh, that is so dope. And shout out to Enza Ford. She copped one of them intellectually petty hoodies. And shout out to Mahogany for copping one of them intellectually petty hoodies.
Seen her feet.
Seen whose feet?
Meg Thee Stallion's feet.
No, I have not. Well, I'm pretty sure she got some big feet.
The motherfuckers is something.
Like, is that a good thing or something?
Nah, it was bad.
No, I'm saying
I mean, well, if I say anything contrary to Meg Thee Stallion being great, apparently I'm hating on her, so I'm not gonna go there. It's not just men are some haters. Like, people gonna hate. And there's a lot of black folks out there that don't want black folks dating white folks. It is what it is. You expect to get some pushback from some black folks. Now, if you love that person, you just love that person and got to push through it. But if you think that people ain't going to talk shit about you, you're really not paying attention to society at large or this country. You don't catch shit from white folks and black folks, to be quite honest. So, and it ain't just men. Women be hating on that shit too. Women typically don't hate on other women for doing it, and men don't typically hate on other men for doing it unless they hardline and don't feel like black folks and white folks should date at all. If they don't care, then generally it's we stick to our sex. We support our sex. Whatever, yes, it's hypocritical on both sides, and the shit ain't right on both sides. Yes, I agree. But I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday, and yesterday was just wild, bro. We were supposed to be talking about the state of disunion, and we ended up talking about the moon for an hour.
Yeah, bro, but you kept saying this shit like it was discrediting.
Huh? I'm saying that shit like it's more to going to the moon to have sex, bro. And see that there you go. That's just disingenuous and absolutely not the truth, Carm W. Most black athletes do not date non-black women. They just highlight the ones that date non-black women. Most brothers got sisters at home. That's statistically a fact. Whether they rich or not, most of them got sisters at home. We just tend to highlight the ones that we don't particularly approve of, which is kind of like that is a good segue into this whole Gayle King, Lisa Leslie interview. And the reason I say that is because let me start off by saying at some point we got to realize that we give a lot of this shit energy. And that people are going to continue to ask outlandish questions because it gets them views. Period. Now, I totally disagree with the timing, with the questioning, and why she's even asking Lisa Leslie, to be quite honest, anything about Kobe. Yes, I know they was friends, but why you? It was just totally out of pocket for her. Like, in no way, shape, fashion, or form am I going to even make any attempt to defend Gayle King. And I saw her video clip as to her explanation, for lack of a better terms. And she threw CBS under the bus, which I don't give a fuck about CBS. But she made it seem like they wronged her in some way. First off, you absolutely know they're going to look for the most salacious part of the interview and post that shit. That's what they do. They don't care about the social aspect. They care about the views, the ratings, and that's it. How much money can they charge for advertisement for that particular interview? That's it. So you knew that before you sat down with Lisa Leslie. You knew that before you booked the interview with her. So that apology to me was just, the apology was offensive. To think that we are that fucking stupid. I will say that. And let me backtrack just a little bit because I need to say this too, man. Happy birthday to Sandra Bland. And I just wanted to make sure that I got that out there. But her apology was disingenuous. I don't think that she anticipated the level. I don't know why, but I think that she thought she'd be able to get away with asking that question. And that's ego. You know, and as somebody that has interviewed a few people, sometimes you feel like you're the one that can do shit that other people can't do. I get that. But I was watching the clip of Ricky Smiley, and he was talking about it a little bit. And he was saying sometimes, you know, as black folks, you hear your grandmother voice in your head, or you hear your mama voice in your head, or your daddy voice. You know, somebody in the community, you kind of hear them in your head telling you, no, this is not a good look. She should have knew better with that shit. This was not a good fucking look for her. Like, I don't, you know, there is no rationale. There is no excuse. There is no rhyme. There is no reason, especially when your homegirl is Oprah. You know, when the man was alive, if you wanted to interview him, it's fucking Oprah Winfrey. I'm pretty sure that could have happened, and you could have asked all the questions that you wanted to him. But you opted not to do that. You know, and you may be right. I don't know if she thought she was untouchable, and I don't know if it was even related to the R. Kelly interview. You know, like I said, sometimes I felt like in the past that, okay, I can ask this question because it's me and the way that I go about setting things up. Doesn't always work. But in this particular instance, like, you have to be a fucking fool not to know, A, This man just lost his life with his daughter. You know that. Not only him, there's other people on the plane, but we're talking about Kobe. So he's got, his wife is at home, still trying to wrap her head around, what's happened to her life. She lost her husband. She lost her daughter. She's got other daughters that she's got to console and try to be strong for them. At the same time, feeling completely torn apart, I can only imagine. Not only that, she has to deal with this with 1,000 cameras on her if she goes anywhere. She can't even mourn in peace. And I don't mean just anywhere in America. I mean anywhere on the planet. She's got to deal with that. She's got to deal with 1 million people calling her. She's got to deal with the lawyers, all of his financial interests and the will, and I mean just a gazillion things that she's have to deal with. And now she got to deal with this shit. And then I saw Oprah get up on, I don't even know what show this was. But the fact that she when I saw the clip, it was 2 white ladies and another sister. But it was clear that, like why wouldn't you go, being as media savvy as Oprah is and having been in the game for so long and being a billionaire, she had the choice to go on any media platform that she wanted to. Why go to that show? Why not go to D.L. Hewley? Or why not go to Ricky Smiley? Hell, you could have came on My Skin Is My Sin. Pretty sure you never heard of us. But my point being is that from a public relations standpoint, you looked weak not coming to black folks to discuss this shit, because this is a black folks situation right here. Make no mistake about it. This is a black folks situation, and you needed to come home and talk to us about this shit. Take this fucking L. Now I will say, I did not like the way that Snoop went about handling the shit. I just didn't. And I'm alone on that, and I'm gonna, I'm sure somebody will go, oh, he's a coon, or no. Call me what you want. We don't have to agree with the fuckery that she did, but we can also disagree with the language and the way he went about what he did. And I'm going to tell you why I don't agree with his language. It's because there's a shitload of kids that look up to him. And yes, I curse. I'm not calling anybody bitches and hoes. I just don't do that. That's just not me. And if I do, it's not with venom. It's a joke. You get what I'm saying? There's context to it. But my thing is, I don't want my kids or my grandkids to look at Snoop and feel like that's an adequate conflict resolution between 2 black folks. It's not. That is not the way you go about handling shit, especially when you are on a level where you can probably reach out to Oprah and Gayle, and you can have this conversation behind the scenes. You can disagree with her. I'm all for that. I'm all for, everybody expressing their views and letting her know, because she needs to know, that this is unacceptable. I agree with that. It absolutely needs to be some pushback. It's just the manner in which that pushback is rendered. And at some point, what you'll find is, like, I bet you there's some 10-year-old today or tomorrow that what did he call her? Fucking something. I forget the weird way he worded it. But there's some kids out there that are literally going to repeat that. And see, the kids, like there's a difference between if you're 20 years old, because why he's saying that. you understand, if you're an adult. But if you're 7 years old, you just see him going off on a black woman. You may not even get the gravity of the situation as to why he's so angry. A funky dog faced bitch. That's what. Which is some new shit. I don't think I've heard that one before. And is that a double entendre? I'm not sure. It's dog and bitch. It's the same thing. Anyway, but you'll have some little kid, 7, 8 years old, that'll see this and only see it for surface value. They don't understand the context. They don't understand the reason why he's so venomous. They just see him calling her a bitch publicly. Now, if that's okay with you, and you would like to teach your kids that's how you resolve things, and that's fine. And what I find is that when I say this stuff like that, people seem to misconstrue the fact that I disagree with what she said. They only hear what they want to hear. I didn't see Boosie's. I honestly, at this point, and I got a lot of, I expect more out of Snoop. I just do. And I don't want to just be, I'm trying to figure out how to say it without necessarily putting Boosie down, but he's not as polished at all. And I don't think he is as mature. And I don't know either cat, but just from their public personas and how they've handled themselves over the years, I expect more from Snoop. But in this case, I don't think it's cool for anybody. Like if I'm on a post on Facebook and I say something about a black person, that's completely different than if I'm Snoop and I've got 10 million followers on Instagram. You can say it's not, but it is. And see, that's the thing though. He has made it acceptable to be. I don't agree with her getting death threats. That shit is ludicrous. That shit is silly. And it's a crime. That's goofy. Snoop basically opened the floodgates and basically made it acceptable to say whatever the fuck you want to say about her. And it's unfortunate that this whole scenario has really taken the focus off where the focus should be. Celebrating the greatness of Kobe Bean Bryant. And that's the sad part. Is that he was getting his, the respect that not that he's not gonna still get the adulations and the love that he has earned. But it just changed the whole tempo. It changed the whole, it's just unfortunate that she put her views over values. And seemed to be just totally, when I watched the video, she's got the look of, I did not expect all of this. And that part right there is really, how could you not have expected all of this? I don't get that. How did you not know? Again, you have been in the business for how long? Your friend is the media mogul of black folks. She's been in the game 30, 40 years. How do you not know? Saying what you think and standing up for your friend doesn't make it right. I agree with the anger. I agree with him being hurt. I agree with him being disappointed. I don't agree with the verbiage that he used in talking about her. I don't want my, you know, that like I don't want my grandkids seeing this shit. I just don't. You know, and I could make a case that he would has been more destructive in some ways, well, in a lot of ways, than Gayle could ever be. But that's a whole nother show. I'm pretty sure that if Gayle's sleeping on the couch tonight, that's probably the most expensive couch that she could sleep on. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. You know, and this is one where, like I wrote a post. You know, you can disagree with Gayle, but you can also disagree with the way Snoop went about it. You know, you don't. People think you have to pick a side on every topic, and topics have layers, just like life has layers. You know, shit is not the same in every scenario for everything, and black folks don't have to unilaterally agree about the complete scenario. We don't. You know, and see, there we go. Like, I'm not saying that she wasn't dead wrong. Gayle was absolutely dead wrong. You know, I can say Gayle is dead wrong, and I can also say that Snoop is wrong. There you go. Snoop was wrong too. Right. Like, and that's okay. And I'm not going to be mad at somebody. Like, you know, I was chopping it up with Jay Dizzle on Twitter, actually. And he was just explaining to me, you know, how he felt about the situation. And he felt like Snoop was spot on, and he agreed with him. Jay Dizzle is more hardline than I am. So there's a lot of brothers and sisters that, and there's probably some people that think that he didn't go far enough. You know, there's a lot of brothers and sisters that think that he, you know, that he spoke for them. I just don't happen to be one of them, because I'm not just looking at this particular incident. I'm looking further down the road. How does this affect dialogue? You know, as far as the dialogue amongst black folks, it has gotten a lot worse. Like we going after each other over the simplest shit. I mean, and we are getting so angry at each other over the simplest shit, over some shit a celebrity did. And I'm not talking about the Gayle situation. I thoroughly understand this one. But y'all all have seen it. We all know, you know, people go back and forth. Every month there is something else that we pissed off about. And we will argue that shit into the ground. Next thing you know, people you've been cool with for 10 years, you unfriended them. Now when you unfriend them, they feel some type of way. Now they feel some type of way. Now you feel some type of way. Now y'all ain't even cool no more over a fucking post on social media. We got to do better. We got to do better than that. You know, and that's part of what I'm, you know, getting into about what Snoop said. It's the dialogue when we criticize each other. You know, it's the way we disagree. It's not that we shouldn't disagree. That's normal. And actually, that's healthy. That is how we build. That is how we learn. Our disagreements can be our best teachers. But we don't, you know, I forget who it was that said we're in the cancel culture. And that's so true. And let me ask y'all this. What should her punishment be? I'm curious. And shout out to Markel. Shout out to Chester too, man. Knowledge, what's going on, bro? But what should Gayle's punishment be? I am curious. Should she be canceled indefinitely? Should she be allotted the ability to apologize? And she's not going to lose her job over this. You know, should she? Is this something that she should lose her gig over? You know, so if you happen to check out this show, I would really like to know what your answer is on that one. And Karim, what do you think? You know, what should the punishment be? And Rome had to take a call right quick. So, you know, hopefully he can come back on. And, you know, if not, I'll be on for about another 25 minutes. But that is an interesting question. And I don't think that I've heard many people say what they think her punishment should be, you know, outside of outlandish shit. You know, and again, stop fucking threatening her. You know, when your silly ass, you not Snoop. You know, when your silly ass ends up in jail, I don't post nothing about, you know, don't have your friends posting to free you because you got upset and threatened her on fucking social media. That's just dumb. Don't do that shit. But that is a question I need people's opinion on. And maybe I'll write like a little post on the fan page. And if you have not checked out the fan page, it's My Skin is My Sin on Facebook. But I'm interested to see what people think. I'm not even sure at this point. I don't know. I don't think that she will be canceled forever, given who her best friend is. Pretty sure that's not gonna happen. Do I think she should be? I don't know. You know, like this was some fucked up shit to do, but there's a lot of fucked up shit being done. And you know, it's and then you start to kind of like weighing, you know, what's more fucked up versus, you know, I don't know. That's a hard one. But she should have known better about this one. Make no mistake about it. Like, and I don't think I can repeat that enough. I don't really think that I can emphasize that strong enough. And let me ask you this, okay? So cancel her. She would never do that. And I'm reading Karim Dub's comment. Yep, cancel her. She would never do that to white people. Gayle has been around many men in Hollywood with accusations and never said a word. She even defended her boss, Les Moonves. Remember? I know who Charlie Rose is. He is a reporter. Not sure about the Les guy. And I'm not disputing that. I'm gonna take your word for it. But let's say next week she comes out with an interview with Harvey Weinstein or Weinstein, however the fuck you pronounce it, and she asked him all of the questions that we've been complaining that they ain't been asking. Does that make up for it? Does that, you know, is it too late? I don't think it's too late. I think that, and I know it's not going to happen, but I think that if she were to do that interview with that cat, and now he's not going to answer shit because he's on trial. But to ask those questions of that cat, I think would actually not necessarily eliminate, but it would significantly minimize the hell she catching right now. Because, man, it's been a while since I seen social media slander somebody this bad. It's been a while. So I ain't seen nobody get dragged this bad in a minute. You know, because usually, like, when somebody get dragged, it's usually kind of confined to one social media predominantly. You know, and it's usually Black Twitter. Like, if Black Twitter ain't dragging you, you really ain't getting drugged. But Black Twitter dragging the shit out of her. Facebook dragging the shit out of her. Instagram dragging the shit out of her. That's a trifecta. That doesn't happen too often. You know, and like to the point where normally, like when you get to that point, that level of success or whatnot, you know, you just like she said, people told her to just let it blow over. From a public relations standpoint, probably she should have. She should have just shut up. Look, we ain't about to get off into the Michael Jackson shit. Like the Kobe situation, that shit was to me that, you know, first off, like it was so many holes in the fucking story from that chick that it was ridiculous. Michael Jackson got on TV and said it's okay to sleep with other people's kids in the bed. You can say what you want, you know, that's nasty. And I don't know a soul alive that would be like, yeah, I'm gonna let you go over Michael Jackson's house, and play while I go shopping. No, I don't know anybody that would do that shit. Obviously, there are some people, And I don't know no black folks doing that shit. That's just me. I don't know every black person. But yes, she did the same thing. And I've been an Oprah fan for years. I have literally been in love with Oprah. Right? That she has just been the one for me. It's $1 billion, but yeah, she been shitting on brothers lately. It does seem like there has been a concerted effort to really go at black men and to completely allow white men that have been accused of exactly the same thing or worse to not say a word about them. So that that I no matter how much of a fan or how much I was in love with her, I cannot even I can't deny that, and it's looking bad. So the anger expressed at Oprah, she earned that. She cannot, I know she knows what we're saying. I don't think that the anger for Oprah doing that has reached the level of the anger for Gayle, though. And maybe that is why she keeps doing this shit. That, and we keep buying into it. Like, who didn't watch the R. Kelly shit? We loved that shit. We ate that shit up, made memes. We loved that shit, and they were wrong about this one. And I don't know how. I mean, like, you would think that, because there was another reporter that got suspended for mentioning the case that Kobe was involved in years ago. You gonna tell me Gayle didn't know about that shit? Yes, Lisa Leslie was classy as shit. I'm surprised that a little hood ain't come out. I ain't saying she should have laid hands on her or nothing like that, but like she was just so cool throughout the whole the clip that I saw. I did not see the whole interview. But she was extremely cool, calm, and collected about that, and she checked her too by saying, the media needs to stop doing this shit. And that's the part that really is bothering folk. It would be different a little bit if, let's say, she asked about the case, Lisa Leslie said something and she moved on. But she didn't. She kept asking. And she kept asking. Like, she wanted Lisa Leslie to say some fucked up shit. You was looking for her to say some fucked up shit, and you end up with egg on your face. And that's the way it kind of came off to me. And, you can let me know and you be the judge for yourself. But that's kind of how I saw it, is that, she was really trying to goat her into saying some shit that she was not there to say and that she was not going to say. So that's just my 2 cents on that. And it was something else. And my bad, but Carm, you already know. I don't know how to multitask. And it was something else I wanted to chop it up with y'all about before we got off the show. And I know Rome had inboxed me something. It was a couple of things we had. We try to come up with little topics for the week or whatnot. But I don't want to beat a dead horse on Gayle. Like, it is what it is. She's just absolutely wrong. And I don't, it's only so many ways that we need to say that shit, to be quite honest. And, you know what? It wasn't that. Because, he sent me like a list of 25 things of something. I can't remember what it was. Okay. This is something interesting. There is a development, and I don't know necessarily like where they snaps. Where did that come from? Oh, my bad. But what they're doing now in Detroit is they are, I guess, in the process of building a homeless shelter specifically for gay people and transsexuals in the city of Detroit. Now, I had the misfortune of disagreeing with that on the wrong post, apparently, unbeknownst to myself. Um, which, hey, like, I don't care, and I don't, I know I'm gonna have to say this probably a million times, but I don't care who you wake up to or who you love. I absolutely don't care. I do, however, think that this is another phase of gentrification. Like, I am not in the gay community or the transsexual community, but having been born and raised in Detroit, I can say that neither community, although may have existed in Detroit, was not prominent. Whereas I don't see a need in Detroit for this particular type of facility. And I do believe that what they are doing is encouraging white people in those two particular communities to come to Detroit. So my concern is not about their sexuality or, what side of the fence they on, anything like that. My concern is it's adding to the gentrification of Detroit. This is simply going to be another way for them to bring white people in to replace us. And you would be surprised, and maybe you wouldn't, as to how many brothers and sisters just jumped down my fucking throat. Pause. I felt uncomfortable. But like, I just don't agree with doing that in Detroit. There are plenty of communities outside of Detroit that you can do that in that would still service that particular community if that's a big enough community even in the area. Or you can do that shit in San Francisco. I will say this: they aren't giving rights to gay people and transgenders. They taking they shit. We not. Them motherfuckers, say what you want about them. They be organized and they be on that shit instantly. And when I hear black folks talk about being on code all the time, they on code. Yeah, they on code. Period. Now, what I did ask the brothers and sisters, because one person was like, well, my son is gay, and because I'm like, the gay community doesn't cape for black people. And she's like, well, my son is gay. He capes for me. He's your son. He's supposed to cape for you. And tell me when the gay community has caped for black people? And, so she posted a couple pics. What was it? Angela Davis, Maynard Rustin. I think I'm saying his name right. And James Baldwin. Those are black people caping for black people, as they should. What I'm saying is the gay community as a whole benefits from black folks being, some black folks being gay and being part of that community. But I have yet to see the opposite. I have yet to see the gay community cape for black people. And if I am wrong, I am sure somebody will point that out. But I'm okay with that. Please do let me know. And my point being, and I'm coming to the realization that I've always been one of those. We don't need to throw every black person away. And I was really, really, really staunchly for that. I'm realizing that, some people need to be thrown away. And I was scratching my stomach there, by the way. That looks creepy. I'm looking at that shit, the replay on the video. And I was scratching my stomach. But yeah, I did see that. I saw people, talking about they oppressed and shit. Like, how are you oppressed? Like, please explain that. And I'm not trying to be funny or be disrespectful, but please explain to me how gay people are oppressed. Or maybe my definition of oppressed is significantly different than yours. But enlighten me. Let me know. And I'm not even going to bother asking on one of these posts, because that just means I either got to block the person or deal with the 12 weeks of the notifications of them saying how trashy I am. Yes, nigga, I'm trashy. Fuck it. I don't care. Now, I should be able to say what I feel if I'm not saying it in a disrespectful manner, just as you. And see, that'd be my problem. Is they be like, we want equality, which you should want equality, but you don't want to give equality. Like, I should be able to disagree with you. I should be able to disagree with something about your lifestyle. Just as you can do the same thing for me. Only difference is I'm not, you're not being punished or chastised into thinking contrary to who you are. And as soon as you say something contrary to what, that shit's a fucking headache. I'm not even gonna lie. And I don't know. I think I'll go about 10, 15 more minutes. But definitely make sure that you leave your comments on this one. Because I would like to go over that. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they definitely went at Dave Chappelle. I don't, Dave Chappelle seems to like it doesn't bother him. It really doesn't. I don't think so. And I don't even know if Dave Chappelle is on social media. So he don't even get that energy. Dave Chappelle is funny as hell though, man. And at this point, like you gotta give it to him. Dave Chappelle is the GOAT. The best comedian hands down, you ask me, ever. And I think that his yeah, he did say that. He had a pretty good interview on the Breakfast Club too. A very introspective brother. Like I've watched a few, him be interviewed a few times, and he really is a really deep individual, and he's just got an observation on everything that is just so unique. And I don't know if that'll ever be duplicated, at least not in my lifetime. Yes, I agree. Very smart man. And I've been meaning to try to find out where he lives at in Ohio, so I can go check him out. And as you can see, I got a new mic and shit. Got the little fancy mic stand and shit. That would be it right there. I'm gonna get a green screen for back here because I want to kind of like do some shit. And the crazy part is, I'll spend $100 on goofy shit. I ain't even put the cigarette up yet, but it's about to get smoked. But for some reason, I'm hesitant to pull the trigger on a $10 fucking green screen. That's crazy. And I did have on my intellectually petty hoodie, which I made a dope one, but it's hot as hell down here for some reason today. So I was in this bitch sweating before the show started, so I had to take it off. And right quick, Carm, anything you got on your mind that you want to talk about right quick? Because like I say, I got to be up at 5:15 in the morning to get up and go to work. Yeah, I started work. I'm working every other weekends now. It's going to be something to get used to. And even when I was working weekends at the other gig, I didn't have to be there till like 11 o'clock. So it didn't, it wasn't nothing to do the show to 11. And well, I'm live there, Carmen. So some things, I'll smoke my cigarettes. uh, I this Nicki and Meek shit. Like I saw a little bit of it as far as when they was in the store or whatever, and her dude was mad at him for whatever reason. They need to go ahead, either get back together or shut the fuck up. Leave it alone. Like, I don't understand why they still so mad at each other. Maybe that's what it is that they still love each other. Because I personally, like, I'm not saying shit. Oh, what happened yesterday on IG? See, I don't be up on shit like that. Especially Nick. Actually, Nikki got bars. She had bars back, in her day. Oh, Nikki said, beat her and her sister. And his sister. Wow. That's crazy. I don't think I've heard that one before, but why now? Like what is the point in saying all of this? Not that it's wrong, I'm not. If that happened, that's fucked up, and I'm not absolving him of any blame or guilt. I'm just curious as to the timing. Just seems unique. Let's put it that way. It's been how many years since they broke up? And I did see so. Oh shit! Excuse me. Yeah, I got to go in a second. I did see something about him talking about her brother, which, from my understanding, he was convicted of child molestation or something to that effect. Something dealing with doing something inappropriate to a kid. And from what they say was she wasn't in the courtroom, but she did pay for his attorney. I would do that for my brother. First off, my brother wouldn't do no shit like that. But that's pretty much how I would handle it for my brother. Like I would be so disgusted by your act, but at the end of the day, you're still my brother, and I want you to get the fairest trial possible. If I believe that you had did it, I want you to go to jail. I really do. But you're still going to go to jail with a damn good lawyer because you're my brother. So I don't get how people is upset that she paid for her brother's lawyer. Because a lot of y'all motherfuckers out there who got that uncle that can't sit at the table with the kids, and everybody know why, and none of y'all said shit. There's a lot of y'all, who a friend of the family did something to one of your cousins or one of your sisters, and nobody said shit. These high horses must be cheap nowadays because everybody got one. You got to stop, it's that old saying, don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. Period. But that's the thing, like I said earlier, we can talk and chew gum at the same time. It doesn't have to be an either or. And it's easy to say shit when you on social media and it's not you, excuse me. But when it's you and you in that scenario, you wow. Yeah, see, that's heartbreaking right there. Wow. And yeah, that man should go to prison. And he is going to prison. Period. And you can be okay with that. That's good. You should want him to be punished. But I'm also going to make sure that you get a fair trial. Especially in my case, like I've only got one brother. Me and my brother don't even argue. We don't have the luxury to argue or get mad at each other because it's just us two. Like if I had like 4 other siblings, our relationship may be different. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be mad that you wouldn't pay for it. I'm just telling you how I would have handled it in the same fashion. I'm just wired that way. Like I just cannot see. Especially I'm rich. Yeah, I'm definitely going to make sure you at least got an attorney. Um, I'm not gonna not just not talk to you forever. That's just not me either. I may not talk to you for a while. But I'm not gonna cancel you from my life. And again, that's different in a lot of people's cases. If you have multiple siblings, how you communicate is going to be different. You don't depend on, like I say, that you don't depend on that one sibling. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you got 4 or 5 siblings, then yeah, you may handle that differently. Yeah, I would. That's just me. I'm just kind of wired that way, that to make sure that no matter what and he's my little brother, no matter what my little brother do, I'm supposed to take care of him. And I would feel guilty that it was something that I didn't do or prepare. Like somehow I should have been able to guide him better than that. That's just I don't know. I don't know if there's anybody out there who's the older sibling. Just kind of just forever feel responsible for them to a certain extent, whether they grown or not. I don't know. If you disagree with me, let me know, and if you agree with me, let me know. But yeah, that's absolutely the worst crime. There is no worse crime than that. Yeah, that's absolutely the worst crime. And I'm not saying that um, touching the kids or murdering a child, absolutely the worst crimes imaginable. Not even and I'm with you on protecting the babies. Like I said, you definitely need to go to jail. Like, I'm not doing it. I wouldn't provide an attorney for you to avoid prison. No, I want you to go to prison, but I also want you to get the rights afforded to you as anybody else. Period. Now, if it came to the point where your attorney was like, "Yeah, well, we can get him probation," then that's when I need to step in and fire your ass. Well, you know what? Like, yes, they will kill you in prison. I'm not gonna kill, like I'm not killing my brother, but I do think you should go to prison. And that's just it's I'm being realistic about it as opposed to, even though it's a hypothetical situation, I'm just being real about it. Like that one, like I get where Meek is coming from, but like, are we really gonna act like, yeah, Meek might do the same thing? There's a lot of people that would do the same thing, but prior to would have told you, hell no, I wouldn't do no shit like that. It just depends on, like I say, if it's affecting you directly. But anyway, man, let me get up out of here. Do me a favor, like the show. Don't forget to share it. Subscribe, the whole nine. Hit the notification button. And don't forget to check out the family, man. Liberation Minded Media. That is Black I Stand Radio, Do the Knowledge Radio, The Rundown with Renee, and My Skin is My Sin. Oh, and I forgot about the brother Psychopatheist. They doing hell of a numbers over here on YouTube too, so check out their channel. And yeah, we'll be back next week. And I think I'm just, I think yesterday for whatever, I kind of wanted to have some input on the whole, because we did try to talk about the Trump shit, but we ended up talking about just weirdest shit for 2 hours. And I just don't have the time to really get into the Trump shit like in depth today, because I kind of wanted to talk about that shit too. Because what we were talking about is if we think there's going to be another civil war in this country. And that part, I think we all agree that we kind of do think there's going to be another civil war. I've never seen white folks as mad at each other in my lifetime. Um, and as much as black folks would like to think that will not affect us, it absolutely will affect us. So we need to be ready. You know. Well, no, that is demeaning to El Chapo. El Chapo is fucking brilliant. Trump is in the position that he is in because he's an unqualified moron. And the people around him are aware of how easy it is to manipulate him and to get him to do their bidding. That's why they're fighting so hard to keep him in power. It's because they can get whatever they want through that cat. And no, not all. You know, like there's mayos that love Trump, and then there's mayos that absolutely hate Trump. Like I've never seen white folks as mad at each other as in my lifetime as they have been since he got in office. Like that shit's been real. But anyway, don't forget to check out the websites, emeraldshell.com. Oh, and here, check. This is the intellectually petty joint right there. You know, this is the hoodie joint right here. Like I say, I ain't put it on because I was just hot as hell. But can you see that? Is that good? That's fucking dope. Inbox me. You know, hit me up on the fan page if you want one. I shut down the website. We get another one built for Liberation Minded Media. It's gonna have all our podcasts on there. Yes. It's $45. That does include shipping though. And the red one I made was so fire. But you know, so we will have that on the website that we getting made now. And don't forget to go check out blackspace.com. You already know, man. The collaboration is about to jump off very soon between Liberation Minded Media and Blackspace, because if we don't own our narrative, they will. You know, so we coming together to redefine who we are. We're going to have black liberation. We're going to have, you know, the water cooler. Just a plethora of black entertainment owned by black folks on a black platform. You know, who else doing that shit? Come on now. It was something else I wanted to say and I can't think of it. But we'll have the hoodies on there as well. And in the meantime and in between time, like I say, look us up on Facebook. It's My Skin Is My Sin. We on Instagram, My Skin Is My Sin and the number 1. Or you can go to Liberation Minded Media. We also on Twitter, My Skin Is My Sin and the number 1. And on Twitch, we are My Skin Is My Sin Radio. So do us a favor, man. Go fuck with the platform and tell somebody about our shit, man. Anyway, and if you listen to the show in 2 weeks, man, share our shit. You know, if you listen to it in a month, share our shit. And if you are that nigga that digs us up in 37 trillion years, first off, you the dopest motherfucker that ever graced the galaxy for digging up this greatness and share our shit. You already know, man, the water cooler. And we out, fam. Peace.